What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter, and we got a lot to go over in this forecast, including we got some cold air moving through as we go through this week with some snow. And then as we go into the weekend, we have an even colder pattern that is going to be coming down, unleashing the North Pole literally into the United States with the cold air and more snow. And then we're going to look at the late January forecast as well, going all the way into the following week. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to check back very frequently for updates here as we're going to continue to look ahead at all this cold air, all the snowfall here through the rest of winter and beyond. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video by giving it a thumbs up, and share this video on social media as well as your friends and family. I definitely appreciate it. Let's talk warm thoughts here, and let's look at the relative humidity across California. Now, my prayers go out to everybody here in Southern and Central California that have been affected by the wildfires out there. Let's look at the relative humidity down into the teens in percentages. That is very dry air mass here at the low levels, and that combined with a strong, very gusty wind here just northwest of Los Angeles up toward Oxnard, the Lancaster area, Riverside. It's very windy, wind gusts in fact over 50 miles per hour here through the next 24 hours. This goes all the way to Tuesday, January 14th. So extremely critical fire weather concerns up towards Santa Barbara, the northwestern side of Los Angeles here. But even in general, critical fire weather here for Los Angeles, Riverside, all the way down towards San Diego through tonight. Going into tomorrow, extremely critical fire weather concerns get even closer to the Los Angeles metro area. We have extremely critical conditions that, again, that are very favorable to create rapidly spreading wildfires. And then as we go into Wednesday, still critical fire weather concerns there in Santa Barbara and Los Angeles. At least if any silver lining here, the extremely critical fire weather concerns are not here for Wednesday. Let's look here at our precipitation. Yeah, very dry in California, so Mother Nature is not going to be helping us out through at least the next few days. So any wildfires out here are definitely going to be hard to contain, but my prayers again go out to everybody affected by that. Let's look at the weather pattern across the entirety of the U.S. Tonight, we got the cold air in place across the central and the eastern U.S. That'll continue through the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday. Wednesday looks to be the coldest day of the three here between tonight, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday looks like it's going to be the coldest. And in this pattern, you can't rule out some clipper systems moving in from the northwest, dropping southeast here through the next couple of days. You can see tonight some lighter snowfall overspreading parts of the Midwest. The Ohio Valley, you blink, you miss it. And as we go into Wednesday, again, the lakes here up toward the Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, all those lakes definitely having a chance for some snow. A little bit of rain, drizzle down here into the Rio Grande, South Texas, as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, keeping an eye on that. Looking at snowfall accumulation through the middle of the week, this takes us through Wednesday, January 15th, and you can see lake effect snow going to be a big deal out here. So if you're getting any lake effect snow bands, just prepare for several inches here to over a foot of snow. And then we got that northwest flow, an inch or two in the Ohio Valley, an inch or two up here in the Dakotas, same thing over here in Montana, Wyoming, and that could extend down into northern Colorado as well. Travel, not going to be terribly impacted here with these clipper systems. They're going to be more of a nuisance than anything else. Limited travel concerns. I think the biggest travel concerns will be up here in western New York State, northwest Pennsylvania, into parts of lower Michigan and the upper peninsula Michigan, where those more localized lake effect snow bands will be as we go through that Wednesday time frame. Let's look here at the height anomalies, because the ridge that's been up here in Alaska and western Canada will collapse across the United States Thursday, and that's going to create more of a southwesterly flow in our jet stream, and that is definitely going to start to bring some warmer temperatures up from the south. And then as we go into Friday, notice that ridge is in the east. That's going to create warmer flow out ahead of an Arctic front that's going to drop through on Friday and into Saturday here across the north. So let's look at that. Temperature anomalies late in the week. Thursday going to be warming up. So if you have any salt on your vehicle, definitely take advantage of these warmer days Thursday and into Friday, because after this, things are going to be in the deep freezer as we go from the weekend and beyond. Looking here at the precipitation, also pretty dry. So again, it's another reason why you should take your vehicle if you have salt on it here in the Midwest, in the plains, in the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, wherever it may be, and get a wash, because definitely seeing some dry weather out there through that Thursday, Friday time frame. Further to the north, different story. We got a clipper system track in Canada that could drop a couple to several inches of snow from British Columbia to Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Some of that could trickle over into Quebec between Thursday and Friday on the 16th and 17th. That again will be a nuisance here because Canada usually sees a lot of snow, so that'll be nothing for them. Let's look at the jet stream here this weekend. Notice how far south it dips toward the Gulf Coast and up the East Coast. That could bring in a more dynamic system if everything comes together just right. Here's the European model for Saturday. Notice we got some rain here, and we have a lot of warmer air preceding that, right? Thursday, Friday, warmer air. Saturday, that continues across the east. Here comes the cold air. That could change that rain over to snow here on the backside. Doesn't really phase together. The jet streams, the polar jet to the north, subtropical jet to the south, doesn't phase together on this run. So not really looking at a big snowstorm until it really hits parts there of the northeast. And that's where we could definitely see the potential for more of the heavy snow on Martin Luther King Day on the European model. The American GFS model, seeing more rainfall across the east, turning over to snow pretty quickly here, more dynamic system for the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and that could drop some heavier snow. So let's look at the European model. Not much worse snow across the Rockies or the Ohio Valley Northeast, maybe a few inches here at most. The GFS model, the American guidance, a little bit more bullish here on the Mid-Atlantic up the I-95 corridor for at least a few to several inches between Saturday the 18th and Monday, Martin Luther King Day on the 20th. Beyond that, folks, the deep freezer is coming. The North Pole will literally take a visit in the United States here on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. Look at this double-barreled area of high pressure, and this is an Arctic high pressure system here, and this is going to send some cold, bone-chilling cold here into the central and the eastern U.S. going into that 20th through the 24th time frame. And this could really be impacting us here again in the central U.S. And wherever we have that snowpack, that cold air in the Ohio Valley, the deep south, the mid-Atlantic, the northeast, wherever again that snowpack may be, will be enhanced. And that's going to even make it just a little bit colder. So low temperatures Monday morning. This is MLK Day. May have a lot of school off because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We may have some work off as well. But this is a perfect day to stay indoors. Look at these morning lows. -11 in the Twin Cities. -20s up here into northern Minnesota, North Dakota, and over here into the Rockies. And then looking at the wind chills, they could be into the 40s below zero up here into the parts of the northern plains like North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and pushing -50 in some areas in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and even into central Ontario. You can see -50 up here. And then Monday afternoon, Martin Luther King Day afternoon, look at the freezing line. This has Dallas-Fort Worth at 25, 30 in Houston, 25 in Shreveport, 16 for a high in Nashville. You factor in the wind chill, could feel like 3 degrees in Nashville. 13 in Jackson, Mississippi, 15 in Shreveport, 17 in DFW, and 21 with a wind chill all the way to the Houston area. And you look to the north, 30s below zero, still on the warmest time of the day in the afternoon here across the upper Midwest and the northern plains. That'll continue as we go into Tuesday. You can see all the purples here, 40 degrees below average. We'll start to see a little bit more of some, moderating cold air, I guess you could call it, as we go into Wednesday. And then we have a reinforcing shot of cold air from the north that'll reinforce it here again across the snowpack as we go into Thursday, and then we'll start to see that push east, and hopefully we can get a lot of these warmer temperatures, milder Pacific air back in the place as we go into the following Friday on the 24th. So looking at this pattern, this is conducive for some snow as we go into next week. This will be northwest flow snow, so this is not going to take a lot with the cold air in place, just a little bit of moisture. We could fluff up a few inches here across the northern United States and southern Canada. And just overall, looking at the snowfall accumulation forecast between now and the 24th of January, it looks like we could have some pretty heavy snows in the Rockies, southern Canada here, the Great Lakes especially. Look at how all these areas are painted with lighter blues and purples, and then up into the northeast here, especially interior northeast from Maine back here through Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, getting into western Pennsylvania, and into the northern Ohio Valley, and then down the Appalachians. Could be seeing a foot or two of snow between now and and then. We'll keep you updated. Subscribe to the channel here and follow along with all my daily updates. We'll have another forecast out for you likely tomorrow at some point as well, later in the day. And also like the video, giving it a thumbs up down below. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media. Also leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. Of course, we'll get to those after the video. And I hope everyone has a warm rest of their week out there.